Hi and welcome back to another video. Again, I'm doing another talking video. Hooray! Before I get into the main video of what I want to talk about, first of all, some updates here and there. I'm currently working on the shelf. New shelf put in. Currently working on my movie scripts and some TV show episodes now. I am a massive Doctor Who fan. I have a little area and I'm working on some stuff in the workshop at the moment. Some props and costumes, because not so long ago, back in 2017, all the way this year, I've been working on a Doctor Who fan-made series. Currently, at the time, I originally thought, oh, this is amazing. You know, this is because I wanted to make something proper. I had some original ideas that took liberties that would feel like would belong any director, writer, because I'm very good at writing, and now I'm even improved much more, and I'll get into later on. But I'm currently remaking the series. Yeah, I'm remaking it. Doctor Who and the Unpleasant Journey. That was the series. That's the title of the series. I had it all crammed in one. That I made parts of it all planned in one script, which is too big, like I don't know, 5 hours. So I cut into pieces. But then at the time, I was still developing how to do special effects, prop making, costumes, acting, etc, etc. Part one is so... I'll just put it politely, it's the start of me working on videos and stuff like that. And quite a big change. I reimagine the series, instead of called Doctor Who and the Unpleasant Journey, it's actually called Doctor Who, The Unpleasant Journey, episode 1, episode 2, yeah. It's going to be probably about 6 or 7 or 9 episodes. The main story is it starts off with a parallel doctor who's in a parallel universe, and my idea was there are gonna be, imagine if there was like parallel doctors even though the doctor never knew about. Does this sound familiar? It sounds like someone had a similar idea. And Chibnall, thanks Chibnall. And there's some other ideas that are smaller that kind of resembles to Chibnall's work. Even though it's reimagined, but all the things that I had in my show is going to be there, but change things here and there, explain them much more better and much more bigger. I'm talking about humongous sets, CGI stuff mixed in with practical, great work, more excellent drama and plot twists that are more clear than they were, as mind-boggling than I did the episodes. Anyway, I didn't have a lot of any views on it. Unfortunately, it's how it is when you're a smaller YouTuber, but yes, so, and especially those other films I'm working on, like the horror movies, like Morbid Despair, and a horror sci-fi film called Critters Unleashed. I'm also working on other projects, and no, none of them have not been cancelled or anyway. They're going to be developed, they're going to be made. I'm not going to tell you when, because I don't know when they're going to get made, because I'm currently working on these type of videos, movies, and I don't want to I'm trying to keep a flow here, but it ain't working. Mind is progressively going higher and higher with so many other projects, toy reviews, movies, model kits. Holy shit, it's just so much more impact in my mind at the moment that unfortunately I want to get it out, but I can't. It just takes a slow process. Speaking of Doctor Who, the writer Chibnall, he's just been announced that he's not going to be writing anymore. I'm not too sure if he's not going to be writing anymore. Russell T Davies. Chris Chibnall, he's not a awful writer. His stuff, I mean, some of the stuff he's done in the past is pretty good. I mean, like, he's mostly an action writer. And I like when the only thing, and some of the stuff he did with Doctor Who that I actually quite enjoy. Not all of it was complete shit. I mean, all with the other writers like Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies, all the way from 1964 with Stephen Greenhorn, Keith Temple. I mean, like, with even all the way where we are now, Chris Chibnall. The only problem he has, the main problem that I have with him, is structure. Structure in character development. I'm talking about the companions. Yes, companions like this. And guess what? Before I get into the companions, Jodie Whittaker is a great doctor. Now the thing is, her role could be a little bit done better. Yes, I agree. But her as an actor, don't blame her because she's an actor or because she's the first female doctor. I mean, like, everyone is sexist. I mean, there are people there, but there's people that are assuming why new Doctor Who is bad because, oh, you're a sexist or not. It's nothing to do with that. It's the writing. And there's people out there that really don't like Jodie Whittaker. I mean, I feel sorry for her as an actor, as a person as well, but from an actor standpoint, don't blame the actors for something they not have full control. I mean, even all the other actors, I mean, like some, I mean, oh my goodness, I mean, it's partly because it's partly also the director that needs to also tell them how they should act, you know? I don't know, it's all these things. It could be deliberate, I don't know. But the thing is, Jodie Whittaker being the first female Doctor is not really the case or the main fucking reason. There is many, as a Time Lord perspective, there is many Time Lords before Jodie Whittaker became the Doctor as the female. Been going on with Time Lords that have been female, going through the classic series to the new series. Missy, the Master, becomes Missy. I mean, for God's sake, the Doctor's daughter, Susan. And maybe you can count as the genetic daughter, but and many female Time Lords is a thing. I mean, people are crazy. Yeah, and what do I mean by Chibnall in structure, as in character development? I mentioned before, but here, I'm talking about companion-wise. This is not the only time we had about 3 or 4 companions or more. I mean, like they did that with the Missing Planets. I forgot the title's called, but it's got to do with Missing Planets. It's got to do with Davros, Jack Harkness, Sarah Jane Smith. All these characters, all in one episode, like that. There's nothing. They'd been done to, even including with the 5th Doctor. He had about 4 companions. Yes. It's been like that with Doctor Who. That is not the main problem. I think it's because how Chibnall structured these character-wise. You got Yaz, you got Graham, you got Ryan. Graham is the only one I feel that is. Here's the thing. Before I get into this, I'm not hating or shitting on any of these people. I am not shitting on the actors. I'm not doing this. I'm not shitting on Doctor Who. This is my main opinions, and this is something that I'm gonna do a shout out to Vote Saxon / Stephen and his friend Anthony. It was so great being on your live streams and enjoying and hearing about your, even including, it doesn't have to do with Doctor Who, but it could do with other stuff. And especially you guys were talking about your daily lives. It was great to get interested what it was like for you and you guys and stuff like that. It was great. And we had some conversations here and there. They like Doctor Who, I like Doctor Who. They like other stuff, I like their other stuff. All right, compared to Chibnall's way of writing and compare it to Stephen Moffat or Russell T Davies stuff in terms of quality. Another example, how about Peter Capaldi's speeches in Doctor Who? Jodie Whittaker says things here and there, but they're not as something, you know, she doesn't really, not as Jodie Whittaker, but the character of Doctor Who, the Doctor, doesn't go the extra mile in terms of giving out all you got with speeches and talking. And with the companions, there's more action than physical and spiritually more character development with all these characters, like Yaz, Graham, Ryan. All those 3 characters could have been, if I was Chibnall who was directing this, I would have done shitloads more. Here's the thing, this is another reason. Throughout the episodes, episodes would go out, it would take a month to the next episode, and the next episode. Now it's taking a year. Unfortunately, Chris Chibnall's episodes is, holy shit, less episodes than any of the series so far. Like 12. You know, if I was Chibnall, I would have made a massive fucking improvement. I would have come up with 50 episodes. I would have come up things that hasn't been done in the classic series. Okay, here's an example of how I would do things, right? With his work. Before I get into that, I'll talk about how Chris has been doing with his work, right? Oh, and you know, it'd be great if they establish more of each character, right? And if I was Chibnall, who was writing this, I would have made fucking 50 episodes. Hold it right there. Sorry guys, I just did an awful example of how I would actually make the episodes. Alright, here we go. First of all, I would have made a template. Which character? The companion? The Doctor? What main focus on the companion or this other character? Could be a major enemy, or it could be a lesser known enemy, or it could be just an unexpected, what you thought was an enemy turns out to be understood creature, right? You got the template of the character, you got the template of the Doctor, you got a template of what area, what type of theme we're going with right here. We got all this, we just come up with short ideas. For an example, the Autons. I would have come up with way better fucking ideas with like the plastic substances instead of just shopping dummies. Yes, like cables and stuff. Make them what connects to. Also, it could be something to do with the companion's life history, something they had in the past or just saw in the past, and the doctor might investigate for them. Something that they had nightmares from, whatever, right? Something that gives so much more to these companions than just being part of the action. Give them more backstories. I would love to have more episodes with their freaking parents. Have more episodes, connections, more templates. Just like I said before, the templates, right? Like have this to do with family, right? Examples. And then they're all not even connected to each other. But you fill in parts of the stories and then you arrange it together to make a story, to make an episode to do with this, could be the Cybermen, whatever. And make it long, just don't make it short. And if there's some gaps here that don't work, I'll fill it out even more. Make it more better. And then after, when you finish, you come up with a title or a line that's been mentioned, whatever, right? That is how I would have done it. Something I could have done like for 50 episodes, which would have been a massive improvement compared to like 7 or 8 episodes in each season that Chris has been doing. I don't know, so you don't have to wait for a year. It could be the case of COVID, I'm not so sure. But I don't recall that being usually the way of things. I don't know. Yes! Oh my god, she's a police officer. They could have explained, they could have an episode with the Two-Face, whatever the enemy, I forgot his name. It's like a bounty hunter that had teeth on his face. And would it be great if the Doctor and Yaz, as a police officer, team up in the police station where they fighting against the fucking Tooth Fairy hunter, I don't know, I forgot his name. Each companion, each episode wouldn't just, it could do with one creature, could do with a simple creature, like the Bating, whatever, right? With each per companion. Because what I would have done is that have each companion, 2 or 1 will stay with the Doctor permanently, like the other 2 will stay at home because they have a life, and they will come back and the others will go, sort of like a temporary, like one stays, one goes, the other comes back, this one doesn't, that kind of thing. With a little bit of a villain here or something supernatural here that affects them or it affects the Doctor, anything, really. Here's a good example. Here's the scene, right? Graham, who has cancer, right? He doesn't explain this besides the Doctor. And the Doctor, holy shit, she only goes like, yeah. Which is kind of natural. Like, I wouldn't do the same reaction. But that is just us. But for the Doctor, I would have put more than just, yeah. I would have give her a speech. Not overly dramatic, just a normal conversation with Graham to do with life and death. Cancer bit could be false, could be a really big thing or not. And the Doctor, make it real. Don't make it like, oh, the Doctor can cure cancer. Don't do that shit. But have a bit where Graham gets his son Ryan, and the Doctor will, like a bucket list, have a montage of them having fun time on Earth. Something that would also humanize a little bit of the Doctor. And it would have gave a bucket list for Graham, give him a good time, like a montage of them in a park, Ryan some lessons on steering a bike, or have ice cream together, going to a theme park, amusement park, whatever, spend time in the movies. It will be a blast. Yes. And what if we could, and to give out that more of an emotional sense, if Graham spent most of part of the episodes in a hospital, while Ryan stays with him in the hospital until he wakes up from, or while he's got cancer, something, while Graham collapses, something really. And it's just Yaz and the Doctor. That way you can expand a little bit more on Yaz and how she doesn't want to end the hardships that before her with the companions Doctor too long, who wanted to stay but can't. Alright, I think I'm done with Chibnall. I'm glad that, see, I don't see him as a bad director. I just think there is so many potential that is missed for these companions, for the Doctor, even including Vote Saxon. Stephen and Anthony are one of my favorite YouTubers, and I spend time on their live streams. We had a bit of fun, and the thing is, they don't hate Doctor Who, they love Doctor Who, but they want to. The thing is, they're honest, and they also can be they're also funny, but they're also trying to give the fans more. They're trying to give the fans more by explaining a little bit ideas of each episode they review of Chibnall. They go into it. They really go into it. I mean, it's fantastic. It's like amazing idea. Holy shit. Plot twist that I actually kind of liked. You know, that sequence where Jodie Whittaker meets another Doctor, played by Jo Martin, who was also a female Doctor. Stephen and Anthony, they had a theory that it was an interesting theory about her being the Doctor. What if she wasn't really the Doctor? Because she had a chameleon circuit thing, like the fob watch. It was a double perception filter, because she acts like the Doctor a bit too much. I mean, like, they both say the same. Jodie Whittaker and Jo Martin say the same things. What if it was a double filter? What do I mean by that? Well, she originally thought she was human. Now she thinks it's the Doctor. What if it was someone else? A double filter, right? But she isn't the Doctor, but she thinks she's the Doctor to hide her identity again. Or the second time was a complete messed up her identity, where she thinks she's the Doctor. What if that? Okay, so everyone, if that's the case, would it be amazing if I was writing her character? The plot twist is that she is really Susan, the Doctor's daughter. Now, if you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Right. The first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, if I recall. Yes, William Hartnell. And the first Doctor had a daughter named Susan, and he left her on Earth with another person. Wouldn't it be amazing if Jo Martin was actually Susan, who spent her life on Earth, but she goes through something, I don't know, maybe the Time Lords, maybe something that had to force her to become human, because she was getting chased by the Rhino Police or the Time Lords. Who knows, right? Maybe they're trying to go after her and turn her into a time agent. And she had to pretend to be human. But when she get her identity back, that completely messed up her life, because she thinks she's the Doctor, but really she's Susan. But it could be also signs of someone that made her become a time agent as well. You know, if I was Chibnall writing this, I would explore a lot more, and it would have gave the Doctor, it would break the Doctor even more, including some dramatic sequences that would break the Doctor, not just with the companions, but the Doctor's daughter. I mean, like, this would have, like, you would have her getting kidnapped by a secret organization that's trying to change her or something. You know, that would make more sense, because she has the guns, she fights, she's doing a lot of things that are a mixture of like John Pertwee's Doctor, where he was kind of all karate and fujitsu and all that kind of stuff, right? And the whole guns thing was around where I guess it was like the fifth Doctor, where it kind of went into that, and a lot of things where shit was getting real and you had that where he has guns. Like, you know, it just seems too obvious that she's the Doctor. I mean, like, it's got to be a double filter, like Stephen and Anthony said it, which would make more sense. Now I'm done with that. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm shaking a lot, but that's not the point here. The point is that what I was talking about is just a theory, nothing more. I'm not saying it's true or not, but the case is, if Jo Martin was played by a Doctor, if she is really the Doctor, maybe because, yes, as again, what if it was the past or the future? Who knows? If it was the past, she probably knew about the whole thing about Gallifrey is a lie. If it was the future, well, I don't know, and I don't think it was from the future. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of things at the moment. It was just so quick. Here's another theory that I already knew, that I think is partly true. Right, there's like teaser photos and a trailer for the new series that's coming out with Doctor Who, with Jodie Whittaker, and apparently a new Doctor that's going to be, which is a shame. I feel bad for Jodie Whittaker, but there's nothing you really can do. The actor who played as the new Master, Sacha Darwin, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, I'm so sorry, who also was in a movie of behind how Doctor Who began. He was one of the I forgot who he played as, but yeah, who now plays as the Master. Now a lot of people were confused, right? Because most fans think Missy becomes Darwin's Master. No, that's not how I first saw him as the Master. Let me go back for a second, right? Here we go. When John Sim shot down the Missy, she's dead. She's not going to come back alive. Unless some gobbly bollocks, right, with the time strain or time paradoxes that cause her to come out from a different parallel universe, who knows. But John Sim as the Master, who shoots Missy from the back while she's dead, while you see John Sim regenerating. But guess what? You don't see him change. Either John Sim erased Missy because he said,
Missy! I will never stand with the Doctor!
Yes, my dear, you will.
John Sim erased Missy from becoming Missy, or because we don't get to see who he generates, right? But I think the real thing, I think he becomes, John Sim becomes Darwin's Master, alright? Missy, now that explains, what about Missy? Well, guess what? I think she is the far, far future of the Master, the long way around. Which begs the question, there's going to be shitloads of more Masters out there, and then he becomes Missy. Something that I knew from the get-go when I first saw the new Master. If that's the case, hence is the new Doctors, but the thing is, this might explain... Here's the thing, right? If Missy is from the far, far future, right? She ends up like saying the Doctor that Gallifrey is still alive. Either she is... This is amazing. Like, if you just think about it for a second. Missy is from the far, far future, who is slightly changed. And also going from the past, from the Doctor, giving the Doctor, like, saying that Gallifrey is still alive, and this and that, even though Missy, before Missy becomes Darwin, blows up the Gallifrey. You know, that sounds mind-boggling confusing, but it sounds like something that actually fucking happened between one of the Master's incarnations with the Doctor. It changes the Master into going back to the past, or either the Master accidentally went to the past, not knowing that it went to the past of the Doctor in reincarnation. You know, just time travel is confusing. So there's something that the Master, when he blown up Gallifrey, either Gallifrey gets saved, or the Doctor goes back to his actual home planet where he actually belongs, because Chibnall, and the plot twist that the Doctor doesn't really belong on Gallifrey, which I actually can kind of see, because it's been going on. Chibnall, I can see that he could have done this a little better, but also, guys, Doctor Who's been going so long lately, exclude the books, the radio broadcast stories, right? You could say it's getting difficult to write new stuff, but while I'm working with my new series, while I'm working with my fan-made series, that's to do with a parallel Doctor, which I came up with. You know, at the time, there could be some other people out there, but I, for the longest time, had a great idea if the Doctor had parallel Doctors that he didn't even know about. That was my series, especially going into an alternate universe where the Brigadier's alive. You had this, you have that. It's not just fan service, but you got a whole new story with the Doctor, a different version of the Time War, where the Daleks is actually after the moment, and the Doctor actually has to steal the moment, and he actually gets arrested. That is something that I'm actually going to be incorporating into my fucking series, and especially other bits and bobs that will all connect into this series, into a movie that I'm working on that's connected to a TV show. And guess what? I just spoiled a bit for you, but don't worry, I'm going to, because this series is going to take many years until I get it done. It's going to take this series, my fan-made series called Doctor Who The Unpleasant Journey, Episode 1, the pilot, Episode 2, Ghost of the Machines, episode 2, this, episode 3 and that. Episode 4 probably is gonna do what we call the Parallel Time War. Right now I'm spoiling each episode title and what represents what, but yes. So I need to get this out of the way, especially this brand new news that we got. That's great too, but I'm also giving you a bit of insight about my scripts and horror movies and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I have to get this out of the way. And if also check, I'll give you links to my Facebook page down below, is in the description, both of them. But go on Kyle Gassman, go onto the link under Kyle Gassman. You'll find some work that's got to do with my new fan-made series, while also other things that I'm working on right now. But here's the thing, my Doctor Who fan-made series, I gotta make this video right now before anything else gets, so I'm proving that I'm actually taking things that are from the new series that's being put out. Yeah. So this is also right now, this is just evidence to go back and tell you guys I'm not taking from anything. Same thing with some movies that I've done in the past. There's some new movies that came out this year that have similar bits and bobs from my movies that I'm working on. I just need to focus on one, and I am focusing on one. Now, I'm not canceling any of my projects, right? I'm not doing that. Bullshit, that's my life's work. And when I'm finished, while I'm working on credits and other stuff, I am also scripting more into my series of Doctor Who. And here's the thing, I plan this all into my head. And how I work with planning things into my head is why I listen to music, and I get all the ideas. And I sometimes don't write them, but I'll write them down later on, and I improve the writing, I'll improve how I thought of it. Yes. Oh my god, conundrum, right? Anyway, I hope you like this video. Remember I said this before, look into the link in the description down below. It will also brought you to some... I might also send some more links to Stephen and Anthony's channel, to some other stuff, and some of my Facebook pages. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and remember, I will see you in the future.